Your whispers are getting softer. Your shouting is getting harsher.
Welcome back to the Purple Pod. This is one of the best case.
Not one of the best.
Right, call them out. We
All right,
gotta
well,
get some trolls. That's how we know we're making it. We gotta get some trolls on our tail.
Welcome back to the Purple Pod, the best.
One second. All right, let's go. We can put this on the promo reel.
Welcome back to the Purple Pod, the cat.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of those.
All right.
We got to make a bloopers video. This is going to be great.
This is how we get to promo.
Welcome back to the Purple Pod, the best KState podcast around. I'm Steve.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Cody.
And today we're going to be talking about KState versus Missouri this weekend. First off, Kenny, Cody, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing fan-freaking-tastic. I'm feeling like a W. That's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like W. Put W's in the chat. W's in the chat.
Yeah. You know, Tuesdays are my long day. 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. But I'm here for the show now. I'm super pumped. I absolutely hate the Mizzou Tigers. And this is going to be the time. I hope we repeat last year, except we put up more than 40 on them.
Excuse me.
They did not look
Missouri
good.
Kittens. The Missouri Kittens.
Sorry.
I just want to.
The Missouri. They can't even spell it right. Missouri Tigers.
The Missouri Kittens.
I didn't realize there were Z's in Missouri.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Mizzzouri. Missouri.
Misery.
I live here in this state. I can do that.
I'm doing pretty well. K-State looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. K-State looked amazing a year ago when K-State just absolutely destroyed Missouri 40-12. I'm excited to talk about this weekend's matchup with you guys. I just want to get you guys' overall thoughts on K-State at Missouri. Your guys' initial thoughts on that. K-State opened as a 5-point favorite. It has jumped down to just 4.5 points for K-State. Kenny, what are your overall thoughts going into this weekend's game?
Well, overall thought is the Missouri Kittens like to run the ball, and we just so happen to have the best rushing defense in the country. So I think we're going to handle that just fine. Brady Cook is a piece of trash, and I mean, he's literally what do you want me to say, man? What do you want me to say, dude? K-State's going to walk all over these guys, man. This is unreal. We got the Wildcats versus the Missouri Kittens. I mean, this is embarrassing. I don't even know why we're even playing this game. They should just forfeit. Let us walk away with the W. You know, this is insane. This is my initial thoughts.
Yeah. Let's just say Brady Cook could repeat his stellar performance against Middle Tennessee against us, right? 14 of 19 for 204 yards. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done against this defense. And their crowd, this is their first sellout since 2018 when K-State comes to town on Saturday. So I'm super pumped about it. And man, I can't wait. I just can't wait. Mizzou, the whole time I was at Kansas State, they were on their 5-game winning streak against Kansas State. But overall, since '93, K-State is 15-5 against Missouri, including the way they walloped them last year. And so I am so ready. I can't even tell you how excited I am. I bought tickets for this game back in June. And now it's sold out, and I have front row seats. I didn't know it was going to be a sold out game, but it's their first sellout since 2019 when they played Ole Miss. And the first time a non-conference sellout since 2012 when Arizona State came to town. So it's not like even Mizzou fans sell out their own team or come support their own team. So K-State comes to town and it's all of a sudden a sellout?
K-State bought up all those tickets, man. K-State is the reason why it's a sellout. Let's be honest. K-State is kind of Missouri's Super Bowl. I will say that one of my favorite K-State Missouri memories was actually a basketball memory, and I'm going to try to throw up the video of it here in just a minute. But it was when I was a student. I was videotaping K-State versus Missouri. Jacob Pullen was a senior. Cody was on the radio call, and he jumped into Jacob Pullen's 2000 point play. Let's play it right now.
As you can see here, a clip of Ernie Barrett and the Final Four squad were honored before the game. And we'll move right into the call of Jake Pullen as he hits 2,000.
He's got numbers, a long three. This could be it. And Jacob Pullen hits it. 2,001 points for Jacob Pullen as Kansas State leads it 10-0.
Okay, so like I said, that was probably my favorite K-State Missouri memory, at least as a student. K-State was able to win a couple of those games in football later in my college career. It was a lot of fun. Before we get into today's game breakdown, though, please make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the video as well. We've noticed that about 90% of our viewers are not subscribed, so please hit that sub right down below. So, okay, let's go and start talking about K-State versus Missouri. Let's look at the stats here that I've pulled up. Here we go. Here's the stats breakdown. All right, we're going to talk about K-State offense versus Missouri defense. K-State scoring offense is 19th in the country, averaging 43.5 points per game. Total offense is 17th. We have 492.5 yards per game. Passing offense is a lot higher than I thought it would be. It is 24th in the country at 305 yards per game. Rushing offense is 44th in the country at 187.5 yards per game. If we're comparing that to Missouri's defense scoring defense is 31st in the country, allowing 14.5 points per game. Total defense, 18th, averaging basically 240 yards allowed per game. Passing defense, they allow 185 yards per game. And rushing defense, they are 7th in the country, allowing 54.5 yards per game. Kenny, I just want to go to you first here. What are your thoughts on K-State's offenses versus Missouri's defense? It looks like K-State has the advantage in the passing game. Do you see it that way?
K-State has the advantage through and through. Look, the Missouri defense is, I guess, like you could say, their highlight of their team. Look, 4 sacks last game, had a lot of people all over the map, making plays, making tackles on their team. Do I think that's going to happen against K-State? Not a chance in hell. I think Big Ben Sennett is going to be a huge problem for these guys. my eyes are on him this game. He didn't really get utilized that much in the last game. Basically, Phillip Brooks kind of ran over Troy pretty fierce. I'm not sure he's going to be getting as much attention. They might have a game plan for that. But I just have a really strong feeling Big Ben Sennett is going to take over the passing role in this. And also my boy, RJ Garcia, catching the long ball. Maybe he might get some more chances this game. Like you said, has a better opportunity against a much, a team that struggles against the pass game. But dude, there ain't no way they're going to be getting 4 sacks on us. Our line, our offensive line, the maturity, the seniority that we got on that, there ain't no way they're going to. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Will Howard, given that his ankle's feeling all right, I think he's going to be making some plays. I mean, Will Howard's been absolutely a stud so far this year. Just really putting the team on his back and making huge plays, eyes downfield all the time. He's got the wheels to go with the arm. I mean, like our team right now against against the Missouri Kittens, I mean, they ain't going to have, it's just not going to, we're going to walk right over them, man. We're going to literally walk right over them. So don't get your tail stepped on there, Missouri Kittens.
Cody, it looked like you were upset that Kenny said he was looking at Ben Sennett. Do you think he's going to have a big game?
No, that was going to be my key to victory on offense. So great minds think alike.
Great minds.
So I'll wait until we talk about our keys on offense for that game. But let's not forget, Chris Kleinman's gone 3-0 in non-conference games against teams from other Power 5 conferences. And since he's come to Manhattan, he has wins over Mississippi State, Stanford, and quote unquote the Mizzou Tigers. So he has a 3-1 record against teams from the SEC. That only one loss comes from Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, which is a team that pretty much everyone lost to last year. And so I was really happy with what Kleinman said in his press conference. And I'm going to quote him here. So he said, "We're continuing to get better. We still have to improve. We are by no means a finished product," which was ironic he said that because that's something Keith and Valentine said in our last episode. And it was great having Keith and Valentine on the show. Absolutely. I hope we can get him and other players back on. But, he said this is going to be a tremendous challenge going on the road in a great environment to play Mizzou. I think he's really upplaying it. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal when you look
Not
at
a
the way
chance.
they barely get by Middle Tennessee. And I think their stats are a little inflated. The 7th rushing defense in the country, giving up 54.5 per game. I don't see that as a valuable stat. That number is going to go way up after they play Kansas State. Whether it's going to be Will Howard on a quarterback keeper, our Sonic and Knuckles backfield with DJ Giddens and Trayshawn Ward, or Ben Sinnott. I would love to see Ben Sinnott maybe on a power up the middle, because he's listed as a fullback, and we all know he's a tight end. Mel Kiper has him actually as the number 3 tight end in the country. So K-State fans, keep that on your radar. Number 3 tight end in the country. So K-State's going to take care of the ball, and they've been one of the best over the last few years. The only team that's taking care of the ball better than Kansas State is LSU. And to put that into perspective, since 2012, K-State's only given up 168 turnovers to LSU's 163, number 2 in the country. And K-State's going to get the job done at Thoreau Field. I've not been there since 2010. And if we have time later, I'd like to give a story on where my hatred really comes from.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Kenny, you look like you got something else to say about K-State's offense.
No, I was just agreeing with everything he was saying. I think him and I both agree that Will Howard is going to be really, really a major focus, even though like our win condition, both Cody and I believe it's going to come at the plays that Ben Sennett's going to basically capitalize on. But Will Howard, it's going to really come down to Will Howard, really putting the team on the back, being that offensive, captain, I suppose, that he is now grown into, really just becoming the man, really putting the team on his back and carrying us to victory, whether, like I said, whether it be catching the ball, running the ball, passing the ball, whatever it is. I mean, this guy's just doing it all. He's outstanding so far. I mean, even if you say, oh, it's a short sample size and only 2 games, you guys are going way out of your, going out of control right now. Stats don't lie, homeboy. All right. Like Will is absolutely, and the film don't lie either. So say what you want, man. This guy is unreal. This team is unreal. I don't think we're going to have any problems offensively. And the thing is that, what I love about our offense is that it's consistent in the way that we are able to basically, we have many targets. We can go anywhere. Like we want Ben Sinnott to have a big game, but it could be anybody. It could be Giddens. It could be Ward. It could be RJ Garcia. It could be anybody who makes these plays and makes the big game happen. But like, we just have so many targets. Anybody can step up. We have so much talent on this team. It's unbelievable. I don't know what defense is going to step up and stop this from happening. Like, last year you could have said, oh, just stop Deuce Vaughn. And then now you only have the passing game to worry about. But honestly, I think we're a little bit different now. I think we're built different now.
That's right.
Isn't that what the kids say? We're built different.
We're built different.
Right.
I want to hop on that, what you said, Kenny, because if you think back to last year, Deuce Vaughn rushed for over 100 yards, 145 total, which added his streak to his 8th straight. He also had a couple of rushing touchdowns, which led his streak to 9 in a row. And it put him over 2,000 yards for his career and 28 rushing touchdowns. But your boy, Steve, Phillip Brooks, had a punt return for a touchdown, 76-yarder.
So I was in the stadium. This was right after, or it was either before or after. I think it was after the rain delay. And I'm starving. And I'm over there. I am in line getting food, but I'm watching the game on the TV as it's happening, right next to me, right? And he catches it, and I'm like, go. I got food in my mouth. I'm yelling go with food in my mouth, and I'm jumping up and down, and I'm going crazy. That was a difference-making play. Even though
the food goes in the person's hair right in front of you. Oh man, that's good.
Sorry to cut you off there, Cody. You have anything?
No. I love it. Let's also not forget that Chris Kleiman, he's just a winner. And he has brought that now back to Kansas State. Big 12 champions last year. We took away the Sun Belt champion title in that last game. We discount double checked. So talking about Macho Man Kobe Savage, He's got the Big 12 title on his left shoulder. Now he's got the Sun Belt title on his other. Yeah, we're out there taking belts. Whoever wants it, they can come get a handful because we are going to. Yes, I can't wait. I cannot wait for this game.
Oh, K-State wants all that Missouri smoke.
All of it.
I do think that K-State has the advantage in the passing game. I was also, I got to be honest, even before anyone said anything, I was also on the Ben Sinnott train because I felt like they did not use him very, very much last week. To kind of like be like, okay, we're not throwing to the tight end anymore. When you know they're going to be throwing it to the tight end this week. I was pretty excited to see Keegan Johnson get on the field. He's got some amazing hands, a ton of speed, and Will Howard. He's gonna throw the ball. He doesn't care who we're playing against. It doesn't matter if it's Alabama, Missouri, whoever it is. He's gonna throw it out there. I do think K-State has the advantage in the passing game. I also think that K-State's offensive line is better at pass protecting than running, though I do think K-State is going to be running the ball significantly more this week than they did last week. I feel like K-State's they're going to want to establish the run against that really, really good. I'll be honest, I have all the respect in the world for Missouri's front seven, specifically their defensive line. They get after it. They're very good. And K-State knows that there's going to be a big challenge ahead of them. They're going to try to run the ball first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. I don't think Colin Klein is going to be getting away from the run. And speaking of Colin Klein, I want to call out Missouri's head coach for not knowing who our offensive coordinator is. He was talking about it today at his presser. He's like, I think Kleiman calls him CK or something. Like, come on. How do you not know Colin Klein is our offensive coordinator and that he's a Heisman finalist 10 years ago? I feel like he did that on purpose. I really feel like he did that.
I hope
Big 12 champion. Big 12 champion, Chris. Yeah. Well, let's make sure you tell him that. Colin Klein, Big 12 champion.
Colin Klein, two-time Big 12 champion.
Heisman
player,
finalist.
As a coach, Heisman finalist. He's got way more on his resume than Drinkwitz could ever even dream of. I think K-State's offense is going to struggle a little bit early, but I do feel like K-State's offense is going to finish the game. They're going to be up, and we'll talk about point spread later. I feel like K-State's offense is going to definitely do enough throughout the game to be winning the whole time, and then maybe score a little bit more in the fourth quarter to put the game out of reach. You guys got any other thoughts on K-State offense?
One more thing, yeah. So one of the things I realized about our offense is that what we end up doing over the course of the game is that we really do wear down the defense that we go up against. I mean, I feel like it's so hard. It's so hard to go against our team because we have so many targets that we're able to just. It just seems like towards the end of the game, like the opposing team just cannot. They don't have any steam left. It's like, what do they do? Like, they just can't keep up with us. So even if they like shut us down early, they can't keep it up that long. I mean, you see in the games that we have already, like they might hold us to maybe a touchdown in the first quarter, maybe even no touchdowns in the first quarter. But then like we just keep chipping away and we just wear them down over the course of the game. I mean, that could be conditioning, that could be whatever you want to call it, but
sure.
I really think that it's due to the fact that we have so many guys that we can give the ball to, and they're all going to be fresh. You know, like they're all. It's like you don't have to go 100,000% like on every play, but when it's your turn to get the ball, like you put that out, and you know the defense, they have no choice; they have to go 1,000% the whole time because they don't know who it's going to. So it's Absolutely. Like, so that mentally, physically, it wears you down over the course of the game. And I feel like that's what K-State does so well. And really a lot of it goes to Colin Klein being such a genius that he is of having this having this offensive like coordination, basically like the playbooks that the play calls that he has are kind of geared around this play style, I guess you could say. So, yeah.
Well, and you've mentioned it before, Kenny, and I'm just going to continue to give you all the praise there. If they want to run the ball, guess what we specialize in? Stopping the run. And that stat right there at the very bottom, first, 38 yards per game rushing.
Say it again for the people in the back.
38 yards a game is all we give
One more
up.
time for the people on the far left.
Where does K-State
Number
rank?
one rushing
Number
defense
one.
in the entire country. Yes. In fact, they're top 10 in a few categories. They are first in yards per game, fifth in tackles for loss with 10 tackles for loss. Scoring defense is seventh and ninth in total sacks.
Woo!
So, yeah, let's get into K-State defense here.
We're getting into the defense now,
Yeah,
dude.
let's get in there.
We're getting into the defense here.
We're
And
just-
this
we're
is
just-
where I really feel
offense.
like
We love you. Stay consistent. You guys are really like, we can't, obviously, we need points on the board. But man, the most exciting part about K-State is the freaking defense. Take it away, Steve.
I feel like this is where K-State has the massive advantage in the game. I mean, K-State's in the top 25 scoring defense, total defense, rushing defense, and we're, again, K-State's number one in the entire country, allowing 38 yards per game. And this was against a team a week ago that ran for 342 yards in their first game of the season. K-State held them to 70. Like,
And 46 of those yards was on one
exactly,
play.
on one play. K-State's rush defense is legit. Their passing defense is 73rd in the country, but that's okay because a lot of teams are playing from behind, so they're going to be passing the ball a lot more. Let's look at Missouri's offense here. Scoring offense, 70th. Total offense, 79th. Passing offense, 82nd. Rushing offense, 67th.
Is this the SEC we're talking about?
What's that?
Is this the SEC we're talking about? The
Yeah,
most
this is
powerful
SEC.
conference in the entire world?
This is all they can get with all that SEC money. That's all they can get, right? With Luther Burden and all of that. Like, I have respect for a couple players on their team. Luther Burden is one of them. But I'll tell you what, I think K-State's offense is going to shut them down. Now, if I was Missouri and I watched them play a little bit last week and the week before, they're going to run a lot of screens. They're going to try to get their linemen moving one way, get the linebackers to go the other way. They're going to try to get their big play receivers the ball in space or within the first 10 to 15 yards and just see what they can do. I do feel like I don't know if Cook is going to throw 4 interceptions again, but he's going to throw at least 2. He's going to throw at least 2. K-State's going to pick off a couple. I think K-State's defense is going to look amazing this weekend. They're going to be the reason that K-State dominates this game. Kenny, you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000% agree. I've already stated this again. This is my favorite part about the K-State team we have this year is their freaking defense, dude. Starting off, Austin the Machine Moore, he's going to be causing a lot of havoc when the run game, the quick side line passes. I mean, you're not going to get very far with this guy. I mean, this guy is insanely good. He tackles you for loss. The boys up front, man, them boys, always talking about these guys. Uso, in particular, massive dude. I'm hoping, and then obviously Khalid Duke, getting him in there. Awesome to see Marquis Siegel in the game last week. Obviously, want to see more from him. But my eyes are going to be on Jacob Parrish. This guy's been super solid as a D-back. I believe, again, right, sophomore year, right? He's a sophomore. This kid's doing really, really well. Super impressive. He seems to be like firing throughout the whole game. He doesn't let up. He's not looking like if you burn him early, it's not like he just gets in his head and whatever. Like, he manages to find a way, adjusts, gets back in the game, makes big plays, makes the tackles where you need them. He actually, I think it was Steve that sent me an article about Jacob Parrish being
let me pull it up really quickly here. I'm going to pull it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's actually ranked in the nation amongst like one of the best D-backs currently right now in the nation. That's insane.
So here it is right there. He was rated as the 5th best corner after 2 weeks, according to Pro Football Focus. That is amazing. And they've been targeting him a lot. So he's had a lot of opportunities to bat the ball down, play some good defense, and he's rose to the occasion.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned it because Missouri is going to have to throw the ball. They're going to get down. They're going to be down 17, 21 points probably at some point in this game, which is one of my defensive keys. Macho Man Kobe Savage and the Kansas kid Jacob Parrish. And when you look at Kobe Savage, 2012 or 2022 honorable mention Big 12 newcomer of the year, according to the coaches. Big 12 newcomer of the week with his performance against Oklahoma. He started 10 games last year before he got hurt, and he has not missed a beat since coming back this season. I love that kid. And let's not forget, Jacob Parrish, he was kind of under the radar last year, but now he is garnering national attention. You said number 5 rated cornerback?
Sorry, number 8.
Number 8.
5.
Okay. Yeah, number 8. That's incredible. That's incredible, especially with the way that we are forcing teams to have to play from behind, which Steve, you mentioned it earlier. When K-State has done what they needed to on the first 2 series, like they did against Troy, they go up 14-0. Troy really struggled because they were forced to throw the ball. We made them one-dimensional. Sure, yeah, they made a couple of catches, but we're going to do the same thing to Missouri. Missouri's going to get down, and I'm not really sold on their quarterback. I mean, to be honest with you, Brady Cook, 14 of 19 for 204 against Middle Tennessee, and they won 23-19. Kansas State is a much better caliber opponent, and I think it's going to be clear. The tape will show it.
Tennessee Blue Raiders. I mean, listen, they only went 300 yards, like just over 300 yards total as a team against Tennessee Blue Raiders.
Tennessee State. Middle Tennessee State.
Middle not even Tennessee East or West, but the middle of middle.
Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders. Yeah.
Blue Raiders went 316 yards.
Yeah, and they got blasted the week before. They got blasted the week before by Alabama. And then the next week they come back and almost beat Missouri. Like, I know Missouri is probably looking past the game. Still, that is unacceptable. I feel like this is a game where Coach Kleiman is going to defer to the second half if he wins a toss. He's going to want to put his defense out there first, get a stop, because he knows his defense is going to get a stop. You want that to start the game, get the ball to start the second half. I feel like that's what he's going to be doing. I also feel like K-State's defensive line, they're going to eat, and they're going to eat, and they're going to eat. I feel like all the starters –
It's going to be a buffet.
Oh, it's going to be a buffet. It's going to be beautiful. They're all going to be getting sacks this game because, K-State's going to be leading like the whole time. So I feel like the entire defensive line is going to get at least 1 sack. I already said they're going to get 2 interceptions as well. I feel like K-State's defense is going to be straight animals on defense.
Also, if you look at if you look at Missouri's offensive, their rush, they only have like 3 guys that can run the ball. I mean, like at least that's what they showed in the last game. Only 3 people rushed the ball, and 23 of those carries was to Cody. What is it? Cody Schrader.
Schrader, yeah, the 5'9", 213 super senior from St. Louis, who has over 4,000 career rushing yards. But I mean, if you play 9 seasons, that tends to happen.
Right.
23 carries for 84 yards.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to get into really quickly. I want to pull this up. This was a really cool stats breakdown done by Parker. I think his last name is Clemming. Stats of War on wrong one. Stats of War on Twitter. Here's his breakdown with his algorithm he does. He's got a projected score of basically 30-20 with K-State winning 75% of the time. I feel like this just reiterates the fact that K-State is just the much better team. The only reason it's even this close is because it's at Missouri. This is a good test for K-State. It really is a good test for K-State, specifically in a non-conference. It's a great way to get K-State to play a road game before Big 12 play starts, because K-State's going to come back next weekend, which we got that night game against UCF. I'm so excited about that. But the following week, K-State goes to Oklahoma State on a Friday night. So it's nice that K-State gets a tough road game out of conference, so they know where they're at. They know what to expect going into Big 12 play.
Tough.
And, when we played
62,000.
Yeah.
With 10,000 K-State fans.
Looking at last year when we went into this game, all the buzz was around, 5-star receiver Luther Burden is going to be a challenge, right? What do you have, 1 catch for 5 yards?
Yes, 1
last
catch
year?
for 5 yards.
Yeah, and he's their number 1 guy, a 5-star man. So that's why Parrish and Savage are going to have a good game, because they're going to be forced to throw to that guy, him or the tight end, Pete, who had his first 100-yard game last week, the 5'11", that was Luther Burden. But the tight end Pete had 79 of those yards were on one play, which kind of was the spark plug that helped Mizzou get over the hump against Middle Tennessee State. So, I mean, yeah, it's good to play Mizzou, but let's just be honest. K-State needs a tougher opponent than this. I feel like Troy is going to look better when we look back at these games on film against us than the Missouri Tigers will. And I honestly do.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's a hot take. I like
It's
it.
very
though.
hot. It's burning
That
my
is
fingers. It's so
piping-
hot. Yeah.
Piping hot.
It's not that hot if I agree, like without even a second guess of what I'm saying. Like, dude, let's just move on to the rest of the Big 12 games. This is a joke. We should beat these guys with our eyes closed. All right, let's move on to the next segment here.
Okay.
I mean,
And
I don't want to be too like, yeah, I don't want to be that guy that's like going in and just overlooking a team, but I think our guys are going to take care of business. I'm being that way because I know how talented we are. If we go in with our heads clear, our mind is like focused on the game, getting the job done.
Clear eyes, full hearts,
they
can't
have
lose.
they have no business losing this game. K-State has no business losing this game as long as we go in and get the job done and show them what we are all about. And yeah, like that's why I'm so bold in my statements and so like, sharp with my words is like the Missouri Kittens are trash. They belong in a trash can along with the Jayhawks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get into score predictions here. K-State is basically a 5-point favorite.
Disrespect.
The total is
Disrespect.
basically
What?
over under is 50. Cody, what is your score prediction for K-State at Missouri this weekend?
That's a tough one.
And also, sorry, who do you have your eyes on offense and defense?
Yeah, so you're going to give me a couple of tough questions here in a row.
Absolutely.
Let me see if I can
Let's go.
remember all of this.
Said
Let's
Ben
go.
Sennett.
Yeah, I was going to say Ben Sennett, but let's just go back. Coach Kleiman and the Cats are going to go 4-1 against the SEC. I'll go out right now. I'll bet a check on that. I mean, I would really put money down on it. Do I think they're going to cover the 50 points, like total?
So the over-under is 50.5.
50.5. That's how it was when they started the Troy game, in which then the line moved to 54 and they still covered. But yeah, I don't think they're going to cover the points because they're not going to let Mizzou score as much as Mizzou is accustomed to. They're not going to give up 23 points or 29 points to the Missouri Tigers. That's not going to happen. And to be quite honest, last year, we gave up a touchdown on the last play of the game to make it look even closer than it really was.
Right?
Right?
I agree.
And Luther Burden III, that's their 5-star guy. We're going to be on that. I don't see anyone else that's going to come out from that receiving core that's going to have a dominant performance against this defense. And their quarterback is going to be busy running for his life, whether it's from Duke's side or if it's from Matlack's side or Austin the Machine Moore or whoever. We may even throw some safety blitzes on there knowing it's a 3rd and long. They're going to put them in a lot of 3rd and long situations. The play action is going to be dead because we're going to stop the run the first 3 and 4 series, and they're not going to know what to do. So I think at halftime, the Cats will be up big, maybe 28-3. Mizzou will find a way to get on the board late. But I think overall, I see the Cats winning this. Like I said last week, by 24 or more. I don't see any reason to change. Cats will win by at least 24 in this game on the road, and they're going to be ready for UCF to start conference play.
I like it. Kenny, thoughts? Who you got your eyes on?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say K-State's going to make another game, 40-point offensive game. Like they're going to score at least 40 points or more. Let's just keep that ball rolling. I'll say because it's the first away game, they maybe get 2 touchdowns. I'll even say 2 touchdowns, maybe a field goal. So I'll probably go around saying, let's go 48-17. Worst case scenario, 48-17. Worst case scenario. That's the worst case scenario.
Who do you got your eyes on?
I already said Ben Sennett in offense. I got Jacob Parrish on my defense.
And I agree with both of those. Swiss Army knife. Ben Sinnott. He was quiet last week.
Yeah.
Last season, he had 31 catches for 447 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's already had a 100-yard game this season, which was the first time since Jerron Mistrud in 06. So Sinnott is going to be getting all of the balls that are going to be like the second and third option if they are able to maybe take away the long ball with Garcia or with, even the way we've played with Jaden. I'm drawing a blank here.
Jaden Jackson?
Jaden Jackson, yes.
First
with Jaden
touchdowns.
Jackson, first touchdowns. Yeah, we might as well keep that train going. He'll score the first one.
Yeah.
But Luther
too many
Burden,
targets, man. There's so many targets. It's usually easier to like remember these players' names when it was just like one or two superstars. We got so many damn targets. We got to remember all these damn names. Our offense is so huge that we got to remember all these damn names. So I feel your pain there. But dude, offense just needs to be able to make those targets. Will Heyer's going to have no problem with that because their defense is trash. The special teams, they just got to stay consistent. All right. Make sure that like those guys just keep staying consistent, and our boys on the freaking defense keep making that statement of that they are the number one rushing defense. Like, come on, man. Like we've got this game easily. The worst case scenario is that they score 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and we score 48 points on their asses.
So
sorry, I'm getting fired up, man. I'm getting fired up.
I love it. So here's what I think. Here's what I got. Okay. I got KState getting ball second. I got KState leading 14-10 at halftime, taking a 17-10 lead going into the fourth quarter. KState's going to score another touchdown and go at 24-10. Missouri's going to score a touchdown mid-fourth quarter to cut it to 24-17. KState's going to come down and methodically kick a field goal to go at 27-17 with about 2 or 3 minutes left in the game, and that's it. K-State's got it. You may even get a little interception to seal the game late. I got K-State winning 27-17. I got the under, but I got the Cats on the point spread.
So Steve, you think we'll give up 17 to the Tigers, and Kenny, you said 17
17
to the
touchdowns
Tigers
and a field goal. Well, hey, let's not forget, Steve is the freaking prophet on this damn podcast. So whatever Steve says usually happens. But I am really hoping that K-State doesn't stop their trend of scoring 40-plus points a game. I want that train to continue to keep riding on that track. And I think with the amount of targets that we have, the amount of talent that we have, and the lack of talent that the Missouri Kittens have on their defense, I think we have no problem scoring 40 points on them. No, it is an away game. I
respect their defense too much to say we're going to score 40 on them. Their defense is good.
No, dude. I don't know.
Not good enough.
I say 41-13, and when you look at the team,
that's my boy. That's it right there. Yeah.
41-13, and a couple of those will be field goals. We'll give up 1 touchdown to Missouri. We'll give up 1 rushing touchdown. The first rushing touchdown of the year is what we're going to give up. They're going to find a way, either with penalties or with one big giant play that gets them in the red zone. But Austin Moore is leading the team with 12 tackles and 5 tackles for loss. Then you have Duke, who's one of the top in the country, Khalid Duke, with 3 sacks. I think we're finally going to get a pick 6 in this game. We're going to get our first defensive touchdown, and Phillip Brooks is going to repeat magic. He's going to have another punt return in this game. I look for him. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And he's a Missouri kid. He grew up in Missouri. And
he did. He liked Missouri growing up. So I dig it. This does feel a lot like the Baylor game last year, where K-State just has the advantage all over the field. And K-State's just – their defense is just too good. They're just going to dominate. I got my eyes on Kobe Savage on defense. Yes. The Macho Man. Kobe Savage.
Macho Man, that's right.
The Macho Man.
Kobe Macho Savage, man.
I got my eyes on him. I think he's going to get another interception. I think he got 2 last year. I know we got at least 1. He's going to get an interception this week. And then on offense, I think DJ Giddens is going to have a nice game.
Yes.
And Keegan Johnson. They played him last week for a reason. They wanted to get him some reps before Missouri. I think he's going to go for close to 100 yards and a touchdown. DJ Giddens with a touchdown as well.
I don't hate it.
Those are my guys on offense.
Hey, I don't hate it.
And I said last week or before the Troy game, I'd like to see Giddens get 12 to 15 carries. I think he had 15 carries against Troy, right? Giddens is going to get somewhere around that again. I think Trayshawn Ward is going to get a receiving touchdown out of the backfield. I'd like to see him in motion the way that Phillip Brooks was able to run that end around last week with ease. I think they're going to try something to counter that and maybe go the other direction with Ward. I just, all right. Will Howard, 8 total touchdowns already through 2 games.
Love it.
Yeah, go ahead, Kenny.
Love it.
Fantasy predictions. All right, let's make this fun. All right, because other podcasts don't make this stuff fun. Okay, they talk X's and O's and numbers, and it's boring. All right, so let's make this fun. All right, so you already said your fantasy, like what you would like to see. Phillip Brooks making a receiving punt return touchdown. That's pretty legit. Steve, what fantasy would you like to see? You did say there were going to be a lot more of interceptions, but I mean, what are you thinking? A pick 6? What are you thinking? What do you think? Like, what cool?
I don't know if there's going to be a pick 6 or not. There's going to be at least 2
cool thing is going to
interceptions.
happen?
I got Will Howard with 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing. I almost said receiving since he caught one earlier this year.
Well, you wouldn't be lying.
He's one of the
like,
leaders on the team.
That's kind of boring. That's
one rushing,
you could expect
1 passing.
that. You could expect that though.
DJ Giddens with a nice 40-plus yard touchdown.
That is what I like to hear. That would be.
He's over 100 yards. Keegan Johnson, we'll just say he's at 100 yards as well. He's going to be the one who catches one of those touchdowns. We'll say Ben Sinnott catches the other one. What about you, Kenny?
I'm going to go out and say I want to see. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I would like to see something I think would be really cool. Is a field goal attempt blocked and then run in for a touchdown. I want to see our special teams. I want to see our special teams do something cool. Like I want to see our special teams actually step up and make a massive, crazy play.
The last person to return a kick, a blocked field goal at KState was Terrence Newman, and it was an extra point. So he returned it for 2 points against USC and eventual Heisman Trophy winner Carson Palmer, 2002.
I really think we're going to have 2 non-offensive touchdowns. So if we do cover the points, it's because we're going to get some non-offensive touchdowns. Phillip Brooks with a punt return, and then Savage or Parrish. Heck, maybe even Will Lee will find a way to get in the end zone with another pick. But they're going to be.
Our corners are good.
They're going to throw the ball.
Our linebackers are good. Our corners are good. They them boys up in the front.
D-line is amazing.
I'm just saying, like that's why I know defense and special teams are different, but I want to see. I would like to see a cool, like, I think a blocked punt is a lot to ask for, but a blocked field goal attempt from a deep, like I'm talking like 45-yarder. Like if we could block one of those and then run it in, that'd be really lit.
I think their kicker is going to miss a field goal. I think that's also going to be big in the game. Their field goal kicker is going to miss one. I think Chris Tennant, he's going to keep being on fire. He's going to make.
Just need to be consistent. That's all we need him to be.
That's all we need.
Consistent.
Okay, let's take a look around the Big 12. You guys,
holy smokes, we were 43 minutes in. We didn't even look at the rest of the Big 12. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's hear it.
Let's take a look really quickly here.
Nothing else matters.
I'm going to go through all the games. I'm going to ask you guys.
That's what I like to hear, brother.
Which game outside of K-State you're looking forward to? So we got K-State, Missouri, obviously.
There aren't many.
Long Island University and Baylor. Baylor's going to get their first win there.
No, let's go Long Island.
We got Iowa State at Ohio. What a weird game to be happening. Super weird. Oklahoma at Tulsa. That's not going to be a game. Villanova, an FCS team at UCF.
Weird.
UCF is, I think, #1 in the country on offense. Cincinnati is hosting Miami. We got a couple city teams.
Hey, Steve, I hate to interrupt, but UCF needed a 55-yarder to win the game with time expiring.
They did, but they have the #1 total offense in terms of yards.
I just don't see
because
how that's possible.
They had like 700 in week 1. That's why.
Oh, okay. So it's
Oklahoma State is hosting South Alabama. Tarleton State is at Texas Tech. Texas Tech's going to get their first win. BYU at Arkansas. That's probably the best Big 12 game outside of K-State. And
I think
Missouri.
TCU Houston maybe would be a good
Pitt
one.
at West Virginia. That's another really good game. Wyoming Let's see if Wyoming's got it. They got
Texas Killers
this week. They
Yeah,
already beat
Texas Killers.
Tech.
Lightning strikes twice. I mean, come
Let's see
on.
what happens.
After
TCU
Texas basically just played the Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah, I know, right? TCU at Houston, and then go Nevada Wolfpack.
Let's go, Nevada!
Go Nevada!
Yeah, Nevada. Let's go, Nevada.
What game do you guys think will be the best game outside of K-State versus Missouri?
Let's just be honest. The K-State Mizzou game is not only going to be the best in the conference, but probably one of the best across the nation between two Power 5 schools. Everyone else, week 3, they're taking their cupcake games. Baylor at Long Island, no one's going to care.
like that.
Iowa State at Ohio, no one's going to care. Villanova, UCF, please, come on. I could sleep through that. Let's just go out on a limb and say South Alabama keeps it competitive against Okie State. Let's just do something crazy like that.
I agree with that because Oklahoma State's not looked that good this year.
They have not.
No, they
Pitt's
have
going to
not.
take care of West Virginia. And let's see what else you have there. Let's go Wyoming.
At
Come
West
on.
Virginia, Pitt is going to beat
Those horns.
I think that's the best game of the weekend. Wyoming and Texas.
So
Twice. Kenny
I
said
agree.
it.
I agree with what you said about the South Alabama, Oklahoma State game. They had no business winning that game against Arizona State. I watched that game. The Arizona State should have won. They just were not as good as a team, but any other team with the ball could have won that game. But my pick specifically is going to be that TCU, Houston, Houston. What was it?
Houston.
Houston. Okay.
Houston does not look very good right now.
No, they do not.
Yeah.
They do not. But neither does TCU. So I just want to see. This will be a good look for TCU. Maybe like Houston steps up, makes a play. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm surprised that KU's a 29-point favorite against Nevada.
Oh God, I really hope Nevada makes a crazy good.
Nevada's really, really, really bad. So
They are.
But
We gotta root for
they're
them.
going to get smoked by KU, unfortunately.
They are.
but still, we
want
can believe in miracles, right?
There we go.
Texas beat Alabama. I mean,
That's true. Yeah, that was a nice game.
Wyoming
It was good for the
beat
Big 12,
Texas
even though they're
Tech.
leaving next week. It was good for the Big 12 that they won. So I will say that.
Yeah, it does make
Much
it
as I
does
hate
make our
to say
conference.
that.
Yeah, all
It does
things
make our
considered,
conference
it-
stronger, but I mean, it's still at the end of the day, like
So this is the closest game. It looks like Pitt is a 1-point favorite at West Virginia. There's nothing going to be closer than that. So
Well, Pitt's not going to win by only a
Are
point.
we-
They're
are
gonna
we
win by
prepared to
way more than
say-
that.
are we prepared to say that Texas Tech goes 0-3?
no,
I would-
they're going to beat Tarleton State.
Yeah. Do you even know where Tarleton State is located?
Well,
I have no
definitely-
idea.
It's
I've
definitely in
never heard
Texas
of
because
it.
there's a Texas logo behind it. Let's Google it. Where
I don't even
is
know any if they're even.
Oh
They're probably an
my
FCS,
God.
maybe even a Division II school, right?
Stephenville, Texas.
Are they a
Where-
Is that a
D1? Are
community
they a
college?
D1?
Let me
Google
see.
them if they're a D1.
Okay,
Think
so
of-
there's they're right next to a Little Caesars.
Junior college. They're a strip mall college.
Wow, they're
You go to
happening.
that college online.
Okay, we're
You gotta
you're
zoom-
about-
oh,
okay,
they're-
so they're near.
They're
Fort
close to
Worth.
Dallas. They're
Okay,
close to
all right.
Dallas. Are they a D1 though?
I think so.
They have to be
That's-
FCS. I've never heard of them ever, and I'm not an expert
No, me
by
neither.
no means, but yeah, it UCF. I wouldn't be surprised if UCF stumbles against Villanova.
Villanova's
That
a
is the
good
most
FCS
fraudulent-
team.
That's the most fraudulent 2-0 Oklahoma State I've ever seen in my life. Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just saying.
You guys got anything else you guys want to talk about here? Are we good?
I just want to
Um,
say this.
Yeah,
I
go
just want
ahead.
to say this. So I've gone to a couple of games as a fan. I've gone to the Cotton Bowl. I've gone to the Alamo Bowl. I've gone to the Liberty Bowl. I've gone to Stillwater. I've gone to home against Baylor. Every game I've ever bought a ticket to, Kansas State has lost. This game against Missouri is going to break that curse.
No!
This game against Missouri is going to break that
Don't
curse. That's
go!
why
Don't
I have
go!
the
Don't
lucky
go!
hat right here.
Don't
They're going to
go!
break the curse. And
No.
if they look, if K-State loses to Mizzou, you'll never see me on this podcast again. I will put my podcast livelihood on the line. If K-State
Oh
loses to
my
Mizzou,
God. I
you'll
cannot
never hear
believe-
from me again.
You should
Never.
not have said that. You should not
Yeah.
have put
That's
that
how
out.
confident I am.
Wow.
What the absolute hell?
It's blatantly obvious he should not be going to this
Obvious. Yeah.
It's
Front
blatantly
row
obvious.
seats. When I bought these tickets, they were super cheap. Now I went to see the resale value. Just one of those tickets is twice what I paid for the whole lot. And I bought 2 tickets for my son and I. So
game. Nice.
I'll get some good footage for us. Don't worry.
So,
The only thing-
what's
Go
up?
ahead, Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
I don't even know what I was going to say. Go, Kenny.
Well, I just wanted to point out, Steve, your arms are looking great today.
You know, I do look pretty good. I do have, you guys can't see it very well. You may have seen it in the last episode. I got the Ninja Turtle tan. I was outside for 5 or 6 hours for the KState game on Saturday. I went to the pool after. The day before, I went golfing after work. Yesterday, Sunday, I was out mowing the yard. I went out in the sun a lot. I am pretty tan. I look pretty good. Winter's got to watch out. She's got to watch out. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I look good. I do want to say really quickly, if you are in the Manhattan area, make sure you get over to Praise Fest this weekend. Kenny is going to be playing, I believe, his entire set list, right?
Yeah, well, I'm playing the entire EP that's out currently on Spotify and
Ken
YouTube.
Savvy,
and
baby.
Ken Savvy.
all the streaming sites, all the music that I have currently out right now. I'm going to be playing my whole online catalog that you can listen to right now. I'll be playing that live at Seco Park. I go on at 3:00 in the afternoon. I'll be playing from 3 to 3:30 ish, maybe a little bit longer. I have a little bit longer in my set now that I can. But yeah, it's going to be big event. There's usually about 12,000 people there throughout the day. There's a huge artist actually that headlines the show this year. It's different every year, but this year we have Big Daddy Weave. So anybody who is well known in the anybody who's familiar with the Christian music headliner, people out there, Big Daddy Weave is going to be headlining that show as well. So if you can make it out there, I appreciate it. And thanks, Steve, for the shout out on that. Yeah, man, appreciate that. That's cool.
Absolutely, dude. And make sure you guys are following all of us on social media. Cody's got the lowdown on Twitter for the Purple Pod.
The Purple Pod on Twitter. I got that going for us. And just another reason why I want to beat Mizzou so badly is the last time I went to Mizzou, I was working for student radio, and we went there on a broadcast, and we brought someone who was handicapped, which they required no accommodations for us. We had to push him in his wheelchair up all the hills to the game. When we got there, Steve, you know this, it's customary to feed the visiting media, right?
Always.
Didn't feed us a lick. We didn't have internet connection. We had to buy our own internet to be able to broadcast the game from the roof. We weren't even in the press box. They treated us so poorly, and I'll never forget that. And that just, I would love to see K-State beat them 66-0, which is, I think, the largest win ever. But they're going down. There's no chance.
I was at that game.
Trash character, man.
In fact, I don't have it here, but I was also at the game that Darren Sproles broke the school record for rushing yards in a game. And, of course, it was against Missouri. I think he had 42 carries for 292 yards, I believe, is the record. And he had it against Missouri at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Before that, it was Wagner Field. I was there for the game. I think it was 2003 or maybe 2004, one of those two. Phenomenal. It was a great game. And I'm super excited for this weekend. I'm going to be watching it on the SEC network at home. I'm going to be watching part of it on my phone because my daughter has a couple of volleyball games. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But Cody, Kenny, I appreciate both you guys so much for coming on the Purple Pod, being the co-host of the Purple Pod. And thank you, Kenny, for coming up with the name of the Purple Pod.
Oh, dude. It just kind of popped into my head.
And for any of those people out there that are fans, one of the things I like to do for the show is wear a different hat for every episode. So if you want me to promote your lids, send them. I'll promote it on the air.
Boom. Boom. There we go.
Also, really quick, if there's anybody who would like to be on the Purple Pod, be it former K-State athletes, if you're watching, our DMs are open.
Absolutely.
Slide into our DMs.
Absolutely. Slide into the DMs.
It doesn't have. Hey, if there's
It
like
goes down in
like
the DMs, baby.
if there's
It
like
goes
an ex,
down in the
like
DMs.
like if you're just a big K-State fan, like
Come on and talk with us. Yeah.
former athlete, like if you're like a I don't know, like a K-State women's basketball player, I don't know, like whatever. Like if you got on, that'd be cool. Like we could talk about anything really, but we're really wanting to focus on the football season here because it's super exciting. There's obviously a lot of other podcasts that have like basically just blossomed out of nowhere because of this K-State train, man. The K-State fans are hyped and we're talking about it. That we're just one podcast, but we want to make this community as big as possible. And we're reaching out to you guys for any ideas that you have for us. Please comment in the comment section below any ideas that you might have. If you have somebody that you would like to be on, please shoot us a DM. Also, like I said, share, like, subscribe, all that stuff. So yeah.
Absolutely. We had a great time with Keith and Valentine. I believe we should have another former K-State player joining us for the reaction to this game on Sunday. It should be a lot of fun.
So
I'm excited for it. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. I'm Steve.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Cody. Look for us on Spotify too as I try and get that set up as well.
There we go. All right. Go Cats, baby.